Yeah, here we go now, baby. Welcome to the Covers NBA show for Monday, March 23rd. My name is Joe Osborne. That guy right there is John Metler, coming at you guys today with 6 total bets across the NBA. Pretty good looking board tonight. Before we get into that, though, let's recap Friday's show. John was solo. Profitable day for John in the show. John goes 101, but he hits on a plus 130 prop, and the Covers 5-star. Get him back on track here. Fading Ty Jerome, that ended up coming through. Okay, so good looking night here in the NBA, John. We have a topic to discuss at the tail end of the program, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into the action. Going to start things off with my trend of the day, and this one is to support the Atlanta Hawks, who do not play down to the competition. The Hawks are on a run right now that's seen them go 10-1 against the spread in their last 11 games as a favorite. You might be thinking, well, Joe, come on, it's 14 points here. This is a pretty big spread against the Grizzlies. Well, they're also really good as a double-digit favorite here lately since the calendar flipped to 2026. They've gone 5-1 ATS as a double-digit favorite. Massive efficiency gap between these teams lately. First versus 25th in net rating over the last 10 games. I think the foot's starting to come off the gas a little bit here for the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a team that has shown some scrappiness at times, not so much lately. They've lost 10 of their last 11 games. Their last 5 games on the road, all double-digit losses. So when they lose on the road, it tends to be by a lot. And this lines up very strongly with an Atlanta team who, when they win, it tends to be by a lot. Their last 13 wins have come by an average of 17 points. So you check out the standings in the Eastern Conference right now. Things are really tight between the 5th and 10th seed. Not a whole lot separating those teams. Hawks were off yesterday. They're off tomorrow. They've been great at home. So I don't think the foot's going to come off the gas for them. Don't be scared of the big number, homie. I like Atlanta to cover as a 14-point favorite. Okay, John, we call you the ass man around here because assist props are your bread and butter. You got 3 of them today. All of the plus money variety, a bunch of familiar names here, especially the guy at the tail end who you've been hitting on. But let's start with your Orlando Magic, big favorite versus the Pacers. Paulo has a assist total of 5.5 plus 116 on the over, and you're going to take him to cash that.
Yeah, I think all 3 of these guys we've placed a bet on recently at some point over the last couple of shows here. So it's Paolo Banchero over. You're talking about, I just don't think the market has caught up to his current role. He's playing a point forward position for the Magic. He's averaging over 12 potential assists over his last 5 games. You're looking at it's 5.5 plus money. It's the same number we attacked before. It's not moving off of that number. And I think you have an edge. And you look at the Pacers, they really struggle at giving up paint points. And when you're talking about Paolo Banchero, I mean, the scouting report has to be build walls, over help, make sure everyone's rotating. You have to stop him. You can't just let him get layups at the rim. I think it's just going to be a drive and kick clinic for Paolo. And he has shooters, Desmond Bane, Tristan Da Silva, catch and shoot guys who are making 3-pointers. I think that's how he gets his assists. I also feel like there's a good opportunity for him to just grab rebounds and push in transition against this Pacers team. So 5.5 plus money, give me the over for Banchero.
Okay, next up, Reed Sheppard and the Houston Rockets taking on the Chicago Bulls. He has an assist total, also a 5.5, also at plus money, and you like the over here.
Yeah, so we talked about this. We bet on his prop is 3.5 plus money. And I was saying how I think they need to get him in the lineup. They need to have him running the point guard position. They didn't really do it in that game. We felt 1 assist short. And then you look at his last game against the Miami Heat, or the last 2 games he started, but his last game against the Miami Heat, he's playing the point guard position. He played 37 minutes. That catches your attention, even if you're not even just looking at the assists, just the elevated minutes. He had 14 dimes and 21 potential assists against the Miami Heat. So they've moved this up from 3.5 to 5.5, still giving you plus money. But I don't think the 5.5 has moved enough if you're talking about this role. And then you look at the matchup. It's not like he's coming in facing maybe a Spurs where Wembanyama's protecting the rim. You're going against the Chicago Bulls, who have no point of attack defense. They have no rim protectors. There's no one to slow down your 2-man game with Alperen Sengun. There's no one to stop the dunker spot passes to Men Thompson. 5.5 plus money. I love this prop for Reed Sheppard.
Okay, another guy you've loved here in the assist market is point guard for the Toronto Raptors, Emmanuel Quickley. His point total, or his assist total, 6.5 plus 115 against the Utah Jazz. And once again, you're going over.
Yeah, it's the same vibes as Paolo Banchero. They just keep giving us kind of the same
Yeah.
number at plus price. And if you're not going to move off of it, I'll take it again. He's on the back end of a back-to-back, so that's probably what kind of concerns you with this prop here. But he didn't play heavy minutes yesterday. The Raptors got blown out by the Phoenix Suns. He only plays 25 minutes, and now you're going to Utah. When I was looking at this too, our edge, it was huge, and it was with him only playing 30 minutes. That's below his season average. So if it is a blowout, or if the minutes are down a little bit because you're in Utah in a second night back-to-back, that's kind of been accounted for in this line, and you still like the edge. And it's kind of the same vibes with the Chicago Bulls, with the Utah Jazz. There's no rim protection at all on this team. They've ruled everyone out with surgeries. There's no point of attack defense. There's slow rotations. It's just a very young defense trying to communicate. And you look at who he's surrounded with. Jakob, I don't think he even have to do anything that spectacular. You have Jakob Poeltl, who'll just be able to convert assists on dump-off passes, but then you're also surrounded with all those wings, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett. All these guys should be able to cut back door and just finish around the rim and not really be met with much resistance there. So give me quickly over again.
You think the Bulls are always just going to be bad? I mean, their ceiling. I know they had the little era, Derrick Rose and Noah. That team was good. They went head to head with LeBron and the Cavaliers, I believe, in the playoffs one year. But their ceiling lately has been play-in team. Do you think it's a fair trade-off? You have the Michael Jordan years just for a lifetime of being pathetic for the most part. I would take that trade, wouldn't you?
I would like to see my team win a championship at some point in my life in any sport. So when you get 6 there with Michael Jordan, I feel like the Bulls kind of need someone to bail them out, where it's like a Giannis Antetokounmpo goes, I want to go to Chicago, or like something along those lines, where a superstar finally steps up and goes to Chicago, and then they start to build around him. But they just don't lose. They don't lose enough. They keep, like you said, they keep going into the play-in tournament. They keep trying to like kind of patch fix the roster. You bring in DeMar DeRozan, like guys like that. They just don't tear it all down, and they keep trying to win. They've been really bad at trading all their assets too. They don't get anything for them. I feel like a superstar just kind of needs to bail them out there, really.
How does Billy Donovan still have a head coaching job for, like what's going on there? I don't get it. Okay, play number 2 for me. Absolutely love this spot. Late night in Portland. The Brooklyn Nets in town. I'm going to take the Trailblazers to cover the first half spread, minus 8.5 points. Big number. Don't be scared of the big number, homie. Okay, so Portland, they're at their best early in games. Brooklyn is a disgrace regardless of when the game is being played. So over the last 10 games, Portland ranks second in both first half net rating and first half point margin, while Brooklyn is dead last in each of these categories. Second game of a back-to-back here for both teams. No red flags for Portland, but Brooklyn has been really bad in the spot. In their most recent game, in the second of a back-to-back, they were down by 33 points at half to the Detroit Pistons. So, interesting spot. These teams played a week ago, and it was the exact same spot for the Blazers. It was the second of a back-to-back, and they were coming off of a loss, yesterday to the Nuggets. That game was in Brooklyn, by the way. This one is in Portland. What happened in that game? The Blazers were up by 24 points at halftime. Standout stat for this game, last 10 games, third in defensive rating for Portland versus dead last in offensive rating for the Nets. So I think the Nets are going to have trouble putting up points in this one, especially early. Expect the Blazers to have a double-digit lead at halftime. Okay, the cover's 5-star, like I said, starting to heat up a little bit again here. The model likes GG Jackson. We have any GG Jackson fans watching the program today. To go under his point total of 17.5 points in Atlanta against the Hawks. The model is projecting 13.1 points for Jackson in this game. So he's having a pretty good, decent month, to be fair. He's averaging 16.1 points per game, often scoring in the mid to high teens. But he's going up against one of the better defenses here lately in the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks. What do you think, John? Are you a fan of fading GG Jackson tonight?
It's kind of the same. We had Ty Jerome on Friday. The Grizzlies, when you're looking at these props here, they're just playing guys for 25 minutes, and nobody really gets elevated minutes past that. So when you're betting unders on player props, your biggest concern is they get 5-6 more minutes than you thought they would. Then they start to go over those totals. But the Grizzlies themselves are capping all these players at 25 minutes. You don't really have to worry about that. So when you start to see the matchup play in with the projection, it stands out. I feel like the key matchup here is probably Dyson Daniels shutting down Ty Jerome, who would create shots for GG Jackson. I feel like that's kind of the matchup it's probably targeting, if I had to guess. So
Indeed. Head on over to covers.com for prop projections across a whole lot of different markets in the NBA. Okay, I want to throw this at you. It came out last week. They announced that it's not an official announcement, but apparently the NBA is looking to expand to both Las Vegas and Seattle for the 2028-2029 season. Now, on the surface, I think this sounds very cool. A lot of guys in my age bracket have memories of the Seattle Supersonics, Sean Payton, the Rain Man, Gary Payton, the Glove, and an NBA team in Las Vegas sounds pretty cool too. I go to Las Vegas probably once every other year or so. I would love to go catch an NBA game there. But I heard a clip of Bill Simmons, and I want to get your take on his take essentially, which was expansion has the potential to make the league a lot worse. There's already a lot of really bad teams in the NBA. As of today, we have 5 teams who have a win percentage inside of 300. And this just isn't exclusive to this season. It's a pattern we've seen in the NBA over the past couple of years, just like a lot of really bad teams. And expansion teams tend to be really bad. So on the surface, yes, it seems cool having the Supersonics back, a franchise in Las Vegas. But do you think expansion could actually make the league worse, John?
I gotta take this a different way. So for one, I think basketball more than any other sport, when you pull guys, I think there's a lot of guys who are sitting on benches where if you give them different roles, different coaching, and different usage, they actually step up and can be better players than you think they would. Ty Jerome comes to example. Like this year with Memphis Grizzlies been awesome. When you're looking at all his analytics and stuff, there's plenty of guys, I think probably even around the world, that could step up more than any other sport. Like if you expanded football, there's just not 34 quarterbacks in the world, right? That's the issue with football. But I don't think basketball has that problem. My second point is when they expand, they're going to bring billions of dollars into the league, and the salaries will just continue to rise, and they're already really high to begin with. And I think when you start looking at basketball and the amount of money flowing through it, I think just more athletes in general will probably pick it as their sport because they're making just a crazy amount of money. And if more players are playing basketball at the youth level and want to go pro, like look at the world game just in general right now. You're looking at the Olympics, you're looking at the MVP, like Wembanyama's from France, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's from Canada, Luka Doncic is from Slovenia. The world has really caught up. That wasn't even the case 25 years ago. So as the money grows, I feel like your pool of players who are going to play the sport will also grow. Like, not to pick on hockey by any means, but like Connor McDavid makes $13 million a year. Yusuf Nurkic on the Utah Jazz makes $19 million per year. So if you're picking a sport, and baseball's similar to basketball too, right? If you're picking a sport and that money just continues to grow, like you're looking at SGA and Devin Booker, they're almost close to $1 million per game with their salary. That's a lot. And I feel like there's just going to be more players who kind of turn to basketball and want to play basketball.
Yeah, it's all about that money. You talk about the evaluation of these franchises, and I think we've heard about Major League Baseball potentially wanting to expand. You've heard about Nashville and Portland. I'd like to see the Expos come back. I don't think that's going to be a thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if 10 years from now we have 2 additional teams in the NFL. I know we don't have 32 good quarterbacks. It's hard to hide poor quarterback play, but you see the ratings and the money these networks, the Amazon and Netflix and Apple TV is throwing at these sports leagues. More. Too much is never enough, apparently. Okay, let's recap the picks from today. 2 from me. A couple of big favorites. Hawks favored by 14 points, and the Blazers favored by 8.5 in the first half against the Brooklyn Nets. Trio of assist props for John. Paulo over 5.5. Reed Shepard over 5.5. Quickly over 6.5. And the Covers 5-star play of the day is projection GG Jackson to go under his point total of 17.5 points. Okay, there you have it. That is the show for today. We're going to be right back with you guys again, though, tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy the games tonight. Best of luck with your bets.